Welcome back to True Sons, powered by TPL. I'm your host for the night, along with my boy J Mac and Sean Weatherspoon, your main man. We got Jeremy Macklin here, and tonight the focus is all about the main man, Kevin Rutland, straight out of Houston, Texas, man. You know, Kevin, he's one of the more influential brothers I've met in my life, and our time in Missouri is something special to me. So I think it would be special if we could just talk to Kevin a little bit about his journey. And I think you guys might find some of this stuff to be funny, some things to be, where it really, hits home for you. And hopefully, we just have a great conversation. I mean, I'm going to point to J Mac to pop this thing off because I know he got some real tough questions for Kev. We've been keeping track of them. What's up, Mac? How you doing, man?
Go easy, Mac. Go easy on me.
No, I got
Full
you.
attack. I know where you live, dog.
Hey, listen. We're gonna take it back to where it all started, Kev. Like, man, just tell the people where you from, man, where you born and raised. A little bit about your upbringing, family background, man. Fun fact: Kevin's dad inspired me to get some open toe sandals, so I got me a pair of those, man. But no, for real, man. Just let the people know kind of where you from.
Look, man. I don't even know how you saw my dad's open toe sandals that day. Did he wear them in Mizzou? Like,
he had them on.
So it's the thing. Like, that's been the thing since I was a kid. So I just assumed maybe somebody that I grew up with told you about his sandals. But you saw those sandals too?
Man.
That's crazy.
He had them things out, man.
Yeah, man. He the grilling sandals, but he don't grill in them. He just gonna rock them. You know what I'm saying? Might wear a shirt with a linen suit. You never know. But I'm born and raised, man, out of Houston, Texas, East Houston to be specific, man. North Shore High School, the North Shore High School, man. 6-time state champions, man. It's just a breeding ground for talent and athletes, especially in football. Youngest of 3, older sister and older brother. Mom and dad, man. My mom and dad will make 50 years married in July.
That's awesome, dog.
It's crazy, yeah. So. That's family, man. That's me, man. Grew up, like I've been vocal about before, man. Really wanted to hoop. Not how it went for me, but that's what I wanted to do. And then with the football route, man, ended up meeting you guys. But so home in Houston, and I'm back here now in Houston, man, with the family, me, my wife, and 2 girls, man, Addie and Olivia. So that's the home life, man. It all started in Houston. Now I'm back here now.
All right, I'm gonna double back on that, man. So you went to North Shore High School. For those who don't know, it's a powerhouse football program down there in Texas. Kind of hearing about them nationally, right? So I heard about them all the way up here.
Yes, indeed.
What kind of navigating high school, right? And you've been around it. Now you did a little AD work. You've been in high schools, right? Kind of talking. I don't want to give away kind of what you do now, but I know you've done some stuff with your current employment with high schools and things like that. So what would you say is the biggest thing being at a place like North Shore taught you as far as, honestly, from both points? You can talk about it from a football standpoint and just life in general.
Man, so life in general, I'll go first. So I'm sure the area is, so when I was growing up, I wouldn't consider it like the worst area in Houston. There were definitely worse off areas, but it was kind of like, and Spoon can probably attest to because he knows a lot about the H, but when I was coming up, North Shore was kind of the place where people from Fifth Ward would move to. You know what I mean? It was still, I'm not sure about the median income, but my parents sold the house I grew up in 2010 for like $90,000. That kind of shows you what it was like over there. It wasn't the best of things, and I would say, man, I was really blessed and fortunate because my surroundings were not necessarily what went on in my home. Like, I was one of a few people with 2 parents in the home of all my friends, with 2 parents who are college graduates, one with a 2nd degree, brother and sister, top of their class. So it was inside of my home was something totally different from outside of my home. But I actually credit both of those, the outside and the inside, with who you see today. Kind of comfortable in multiple settings because you grew up where you grew up and you have to adapt. You have to learn. But I remember like being in elementary school, learning about some things that if my mom knew what I was finding out, she'd be like, whoa, we got to leave. You know what I mean? But I also learned to keep that outside and never bring it in the house, right? So there were some times where I may have been doing some things that, Lord knows, Mama would have been, she'd have been on me and she'd have found out, because that was what was outside. That was the school. That was my friend group. Like, I had friends, man, who would not go to school when football season wasn't in, because that was just, that's how they moved outside. In their homes, it was acceptable. In my house, it was not acceptable. So like, that's kind of what I learned just growing up in East Houston. I could, a lot of the older guys who graduated like 04, 03, 02 were just like being incredible models for how to kind of still be considered one of the guys and whatnot, but also turning on in business, like when they were playing their sport, football, basketball, track. But going to North Shore specifically, you kind of knew if you go to this school, you can play football. And if you're decent and you're on that team, you're going to go to college somewhere and play football, which is why I quit football my freshman year, because I was like, I don't want to play this sport at the next level. And I know if I continue playing here, and because I was on JV my freshman year. So I was like, man, the writing's on the wall. I'm going to go to college and play this sport, and I don't want to play this sport, so let me give it up. But that was North Shore, man. It's kind of its own little area, and that side of Houston just rallies around that football team. Like the state championship is in Dallas now, at least every year. But I mean, it's like a caravan from North Shore to Dallas with just all the fans we have. So yeah, I learned a lot from that school, and really, really thankful for that very particular upbringing with having what was taught inside my home being kind of contrary to what was outside the home, but it kind of helped me figure out how to navigate in areas that I wasn't comfortable in, but I had to become comfortable in, man.
Hey,
Nice.
Frank, real quick. I want to touch on this real quick because you just talked about football, right? So this kind of segues into like college a little bit too. But what was it about football that you didn't want to do it? Was it you didn't love it? Was it the competitiveness? Was it where you played at and you knew like you just said, like it's like dang, like there's more to it than just the game of ball. Like, what was it about football that essentially almost, took you away from it?
Man, so my brother, I have an older brother who is 6 years, almost 7 years older than me. He played basketball. And growing up, I just wanted to be like him. You know what I mean? And even a lot of his friends are like, hey, blaze your own trail, man, go play football. And I was like, nah, my big brother's playing basketball, so I'm going to play basketball. What it is. The only reason I even played football for like my middle school was because the head coach of our football team was also, like at all middle schools, the head coach of the basketball team. And he told me, he was like, if you don't play football, you're not going to start on 18. Don't even think about it. And I was like, what? It was a crazy thing to say, but it also changed the trajectory of my life. So I went out for the football team, and I remember they used to like split us up into like, you get a white jersey, like to begin with, or a blue jersey. Blue jerseys meant you were going to be on A team. White jerseys meant you're going to be on B team. And they just give them out, at the beginning. So I had a white jersey on. And I never forget, we did like a tackling drill. And it was like you stand about 5 yards away from somebody. I stood, me and Jay Witt were kind of like friends. So I was like, yeah, me and you going together, but I'll go easy. You know what I'm saying? This is my first time tackling. You know what I mean? I've been being in that situation. So he tackles me. I'm like, oh, it wasn't so bad. And I tackle him. And I'm assuming they liked it, which is odd. So then they throw me a blue jersey. I'm like, you sure?
One hit.
I don't think you know who you're giving this jersey to.
You must be coming out your hips.
I don't know, but I'm like, all right. But to follow up that story, then we go to Blood Pit immediately after. And I never took part in the drill. Like, it was lines, and I was able to kind of like finagle my way, like, yo, this is island. I'm not getting in that. at you know what I'm saying, 12, and first time doing it, all my friends growing up played football forever. So this is not new to them. They run and hit and scream. I'm like, nah. I'm only doing this. You know why I'm here. I'm only here so I can go hoop. You know what I mean? And the season goes on my 7th grade year. I'm on 18. I'm never playing. I'm just like on the sideline. You know what I mean? But I'm on 18. Season goes on, and like in middle school, Spoon, you have that halfway period where if the grades aren't right, you can't finish the season.
Little smart Kev in the back with the glasses.
Look who's
All
left
his
to
work.
play.
Look who's left to play.
Look who's left to play. So I mean, my dad tells the story. He was like, "Man, the first 4 games, you never touched the field." After grades came out, I was offense, defense, and that's kind of how I learned the game. Like, oh, the game is actually kind of fun. You know what I mean? And then the next year, I think I played like receiver, and everybody plays receiver and DB. And then the next year, they were like, "Hey, you gonna play quarterback?" I'm like, "I can't even throw." You know what I mean? But it was a cool position. And I would say I started kind of liking the sport then. I still didn't want to play it because I still just want to play basketball, but that's when I first started playing football, and it ended up becoming something. So that's how it starts, Mac.
Gotcha.
Nice, man. That's cool, man. You know, I'm from Texas, so I definitely know the football vibes. You know, it was a little different for me because, you know, all my brothers did was play football. You know, so I grew up playing. Pick them up, bust them. I kind of come from that community where, you know, you're gonna strap it up, you're gonna hit. You know, so man, I just kind of wanted to ask a question of how was it walking through the halls of North Shore High School once you got to that point where you are on the varsity team? Because, like you said, it's all about football. You got kids that are playing ball that's not even going to class after the season's over. Like it sounds like some Varsity Blues, Friday Night Lights type of you know. I wouldn't say cult. I wouldn't go as far as cult because I'm from Texas too.
But it's like that. You know how it is, Spoon, man. So
yeah,
like,
man.
Walking those halls, like, so it started as everybody comes to, at the time we had, my high school split into 2 campuses. You had a 9th and 10th grade campus and 11th, 12th grade
Big
campus.
high school with it, man. That's a big school.
Huge. Like my graduating class was like 1,000 kids. So if you times that by 4, you get 4,000, but the class shrinks the higher you get. So freshman year, because I played quarterback in 8th grade, and the system that we ran in middle school was the exact same thing we did in high school. It was like a form system. So you come in the door and they're like, all right, you're going to JV. And I was like one of 3 players to go to JV. And I'm like, you sure you got the right person? I just started playing this game. I don't even really like it. But I go to JV and I have fun. Because at the end of the day, I was probably more athletic than I was a football player. And that probably carried me all the way to college, to be honest with you. But so I'm playing quarterback and I'm having a good time. And I'll never forget, it's the last game of the season. I had a good game, you know, scored a couple touchdowns. And then normally, if you're on JV, you suit up for varsity for the playoffs. And I had my last game on JV and I left. I went straight to basketball because I had no idea, like, oh, it's time to suit up for varsity. And I remember one of the coaches like came and found me and were like, what are you doing? I was like, the season's over. Like, I'm about to go sit and travel with you all day. It's time to go hoop. I remember him being like, he kind of like cursed me out like, you idiot. He went in. And I was like, all right, well, I quit then. And that's when I quit football. And I'm like, it's over. It's a wrap. So I quit football and I'm walking the halls hooping. And then, you know, next semester comes, I'm still hooping and whatnot. And now it's time for spring ball. And another coach comes to me. I'm on the other campus. And he was like, you know, you would be on varsity right now? And I'm like, so what? Like, I don't want to play. He was like, but they're asking for you to come back. And I'm like, I quit. I'm not playing. And he was like, I don't need your sorry anyway then. I was like, bro, you just told me to come.
Hey, man, you know,
man.
Coaches got to stop that, man. The coaches got to, you know, they got to cut that out, man. You know,
he went in.
That's ridiculous. I know you got to get the kids out there to play, Mac. I know you might be one of them old boot-looking trustees. Be getting the kids out
Mac. Do not be that guy.
Setting them up for failure. Man, you ain't about to, I was on the varsity that first game in the playoffs as a 9th grader. You think they put me in the game?
You not going to play?
Come on, man. I wasn't even on kickoff.
Yeah. I started at safety in the playoffs my freshman year.
You see, Mac, you different. You was a different breed, I know.
Hey, there's no way I was going to see the field my freshman year. It was just impossible. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm about to go hoop. And I went and hoop. And then I ended up quitting the game and then going to like a tournament. I think I may have told the story before. Going to a tournament in Orlando and Doc Rivers kind of telling all the kids there, like, one of y'all might make it. It's 1,000+ kids there. One of y'all might go to the NFBA. I'm like, man, golly. And then all my friends are still telling me, like, yo, just come back. Come play. So I don't do spring ball, and I end up coming back, like, the beginning of the season for my sophomore year. So I never actually missed a season of football. I just didn't do spring that time, my freshman going to sophomore year. So, Frank, you asked, what's it like walking in those halls?
Yeah, bro. What did it feel like to wear your jersey on Friday with your you had a sling tote at Missouri, so I assume you had a sling tote. Your senior year, you got your little sling bag on you with your little tail in there.
Look, it was a big deal, and I don't think it hit home until like my junior year when you starting and you playing a lot, and now people around the city know you. We went to like a step show one time at TSU Spoon, and a little kid walks to me and he was like, "Hey, you go to North Shore?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "You play quarterback?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Oh, I thought that was you." And he walks off. I'm like,
Dog.
"I didn't know it was that." And this is not near my side of town. Fast forward like the end of the night, little dude really came up to us and asked me that. I think somebody older must like recognize me. Somebody's in high school, right? So when we're leaving, I would hear somebody scream out, "Hey, North Shore sucks." You know what I'm saying? I think that's one reason they sent them to holler at me, because they wanted to make sure. They probably trying to fight. We did a lot of that too growing up.
We
So,
need to talk about that fighting too. And you was the getaway driver, wasn't you?
No.
oh, hey.
No.
We did some things, man. But it was a big deal, and I don't think I realized how big it was until we would leave our side of town and go places, and people might recognize you. That's when I realized, oh man, football is a big deal at North Shore, because you are on TV. You know what I mean? The news is always there, doing interviews and whatnot with players. Because the year before my junior year, we put like 10 guys in D1, so it's just like it's going to happen. So it was a big deal walking around. I think the campus itself, people got used to it, but outside of like on the east, people knew who you were, and that was a change for me.
No, man, I think it's cool, man, how, you can be in a place where, the tradition and like really the expectation is what it is, right? So,
Yeah.
even still being there and experiencing what you experienced at North Shore, right? Let's fast forward now until you get to the University of Missouri, right? So you went through the woes of do I want to play, do I not want to play? Hey, here I am. I'm more athletic than I am a football player. I'm on the field. You've even told the story about, you essentially getting a scholarship to play defensive back and really didn't play defensive back.
No.
So you did all that based off of like how you looked on tape. Fast forward, you get to University of Missouri, right? You come in with you see myself, you see Spoon, you see Denario, you see JP, you see all these guys
Dale. Yeah.
that are playing as freshmen, right? You
And they
come
won.
from probably the best high school out of all of us, right?
Yeah.
What was that transition like for you? Like things that we saw, and then maybe some things that you never even shared with us about kind of
Yeah.
what went on inside Kevin's head.
So what you see is me kind of becoming like a knucklehead. You know what I mean? Kicked out of meetings and whatnot. Which, take it back a year prior to that in North Shore, none of this was me. Like, I was never the kid that was in trouble in school or in trouble with the coaches. That just it wasn't a thing. But like, when I think about it now, man, I think what happened that I probably never voiced to you all is that now it's the first time that you are doubting whether or not you're good at something.
Yeah.
Like in high school, you're playing quarterback, you're playing receiver, you're playing running back, you got the ball in your hand, and you're faster than most people, so you make plays, right? And it's kind of fun. I'm not a football player, but I just outrun you, things like that, right? And then you get to that level, and now you're playing. I came in as a safety, and so it's an unfamiliar position in a sport I don't necessarily love like that yet, at least. And I think what ends up showing you guys, like, man, how's he getting kicked out of meetings? Because it was a confidence issue. I didn't have like belief in myself for that side of the ball. If I would have gone to North Shore, gone to Mizzou and immediately play offense, maybe we see a different person earlier at Mizzou. But you go there and put me at DB, I never played the position. I've never tackled someone from high school on. I never tackled anybody in the game. So it's like, now you're asking me to tackle. So I'm like, all right, maybe I can get by with athletic ability. But when I get there, the focus, and it was like hyper focused, dog, was tackling. I'm in the meeting room with Coach Eberflus, and it was almost like when I first got there, it was like they felt like, oh, let's challenge him in tackling early. I didn't know why, But I remember being in the film room. You got Will Moe, you got some guys in there, right? And Coach E asking the group like, "Do y'all think that was a physical play or not?" Talking about me, and I just gotten there. And I'm like, "Are you asking me? Like, you got people who are about to start in this room. Don't watch my film, you know what I mean?" But and maybe this is me speculating. I think they were like, "All right, this is an ex-quarterback. Can he make this transition?"
Yeah.
And early on, the answer was no. Like, I did not have it. And I think it was just a confidence thing. You know, it's a new position. The terminology is different on that side of the ball. The way you approach the game, in my opinion, on that side of the ball is a lot different than it was on offense. On defense, it's kind of like a war. It's like a battle. In offense, it's like, how good can I show that I am? That's kind of how I felt. But in defense, it's a battle, man, every play. And I think that's what you guys saw. Kicked out of meetings, being on Coach's bad side. I think Coach Pinkel came out like my senior year was like, if you'd asked me if this kid would have been a captain on this team, I'd have told you hell no. Because that's just, you have a kid who is unsure in his abilities, who's no longer confident in the abilities that he may or may not have, and now it shows up with this kid getting kicked out of meetings. So that's what you get when I first step on campus, J-Mac.
Wow. When you say that, Kevin, I'm surprised because, you know, I kind of just saw you in the light of, like, you're just always so sure about yourself, always so confident about everything, knowing that, you know, you're one of the fastest guys. You generate a lot of force, a lot of speed. And, you know, that automatically, as an athlete, as a ball player, you look at Kevin and you like, oh, he can go. You know, like, shoot, in a sense, you might be like, if they want to stick with the Brad Smith type of era, shoot, he might be one of the guys that can go out there and fly around and put the 4-3 on display, you know? So I think it was different for me, but I knew you were going through position changes, but you never really showed like that you wavered. You know, you kind of just was on that journey of just constantly grinding at it, constantly going at it. And I felt like you were probably ready to go before they let you go.
Probably.
Because it's more of a project, you know, like, the quarterback is changing over. We got to make sure we do the due diligence of, you know, seeing if he can be tough and physical, this, that, and the third. But I think just the way you are in our group, that you would you would excel at it, you know what I'm saying? We're given the opportunity. So, you know, I commend you for keeping the faith in the program, actually, you know, because I remember my freshman year, shoot, I go out and play as a freshman, but I don't play as much as all of the other true freshmen. I don't get a chance to be first freshman All-American, you know, and I'm like, dang, I'm the most ready freshman on the roster, you know what I'm saying? That's available, you know, and I'm like, hey, this is crazy, and I'm chilling, and these other guys are getting more opportunities, and I saw Denario's opportunity, his uptick, you know, take off a little bit, and here I was, my parents coming up, and I'm feeling like, man, I don't know if it's Missouri for me, you know, so for you to go through kind of what you going through during that time, man, that takes a lot, you know.
Hey, look, I'll be honest with you. If I felt that leaving was an option, I would have left. I just never thought that was an option. I just never thought I could go back home. For some reason, it wasn't on the table. It seemed like, but there were some times where I felt like if I could go, I'd leave.
I know this, and I'm speaking, you know, from my own little experience. When I got hurt my freshman year, I think if it wasn't for, like, because it was y'all, right? Because Spoon, you know, we got there early, we were doing whatever, but like then y'all was kind of on a different schedule than me and Kevin. You know what I mean? So I'm coming back from injury. I could honestly probably say if it wasn't for Kevin and some of the other incoming freshmen, like, you know, D Grooms and even quarterbacks were even a little bit different, right? Like
they were different.
You know,
like y'all are all you're always gone.
I don't think I would have tried to transfer. Like I was contemplating whether or not I want to keep playing ball at all. Like I had never been hurt in my life. So
that's when you and me got close, Mac. During that time, you know what I mean? Because we still back at home. You know what I mean? With JP and Mario, everybody's gone.
I say that was like the breaking point for me too. I was like, oh, he Booby Miles too. He love this too. You know, like you know, I remember, you know what I'm saying? I done cried missing some games, Mac. So I can only imagine you've never been hurt, and here it is. Oh, it's kind of taken from you, and with the expectation level so high, I mean, we was looking forward to you going out there, and actually, you probably would have been a starter on that team, if not by the first, you know, second, third game, you know. But I remember the conversation we had about that, man. So that goes to show a lot about our relationship, man, and how you know, like we're a close group that lean on each other, man. And I want to, Kevin, is that how your family is? Like y'all stick together, your siblings, because I those traits, you know, and I think it's contagious in the group, man. So can you talk a little bit about your brother and your sister and kind of what family means to you, even as being a dad. You know, I know
Yeah,
I'm kind of
yeah.
skipping around, but I really love to hear that.
Man, so to answer your question, you're right. Like my dad is from Georgia originally. My mom is from Waco, Texas. So we didn't grow up around a lot of our cousins. Like we had to go see cousins, we had to drive to Waco or drive to Georgia, right? So the five of us, my mom, dad, brother, and sister, were extremely close. And I think that was kind of like a replica for even like how my relationships developed outside the home. Like I got a group of friends from back home that I've been knowing since second, third grade, and we're still close today. And I just gravitate towards like people who are like genuinely good people. And it's like once we've crossed the barrier and I trust you, I can never untrust you. So like Spoon, J Mac, Nario, like like that group of people. Once I found it at Mizzou, I wasn't leaving that either. So maybe that's why I never thought to leave Mizzou. Cause I found home. I'm not playing, but I found like a model of home. You know what I mean? And I look at Spoon and his mom and his dad, and I see my household in that. You know what I mean? And so I think that's how you start having this closeness at Mizzou, and it kind of carried me through those 4 years until you two left early. But I had
I
a
ain't leave
friend
early.
group.
You stayed late.
My bad. I read but yeah, so close with the family, man. Even if like me and my brother today don't talk every day, or me and my sister don't talk every day, when we get back together, it's like we just spent, the past 3 weeks together. So I'm tremendously big on family. Like you guys, you both know, man. Now I'm a father, husband, 2 daughters, and I'm trying my best to recreate what I had. Sometimes I'll drop the ball, yes. You know what I mean? And it sucks to feel like, oh man, my mom and dad wouldn't have done that. You know what I mean? Like my wife and I take more trips than my mom and dad ever did, right? But on the flip side, I'm the youngest of 3, so when I finally left and came to Mizzou, I mean, my mom telling me that she looked at my dad when we left and she was like, who are you? You know what I mean? Because the focus was on the kids. They just didn't really, in my opinion, invest in the marriage. So I'm trying to invest in my marriage. At the same time, I'm trying to give the kids everything, and and you go to work. That's a juggling act. And so, Spoon, to answer your question, family is everything to me, and I'm still figuring it out in my new role in this family as the husband and as a father.
Yeah, great stuff. Great stuff. Mac, you got to talk to him. Mac, we got to open up a little bit more football stuff at Missouri that kind of
Yeah.
positions him,
Okay.
as he
So
goes on.
I think what's so cool though, I think we all are at very similar stages of like parenting, right? In our marriages, relationships, and things like that. So I think that's like it's weird, like how all of it like is like all intertwined. You feel what I'm saying?
At the same time, too.
Yeah.
At the same time, man. But no, man, to kind of go back and kind of get to college, right? And we talked about the story, how you got there. So I'll give you a little 2-parter here, right? I want your welcome to college moment. It can be anything. It can be classes. It can be study. It can be like something that happened on the field, right? How about something that happened on the field and something that happened off the field. Your welcome to college moment, right? But then also, Kevin, for you in particular, right? When did it change for you? Because you said you got there, right? Things were a little bit whatever. Like, I want to say that I started to see the change, but I don't think it changed when I was there. I think it was literally I left and then I came back and I was like, yo, who is this cat? Like this, my dog is completely different now, you know. So kind of when did that shift for you?
Oh my goodness, man, that's a great. So I'll start with when the change occurred for me. And to be honest with you, you two, Denario, y'all have a tremendous impact on when that change occurred for me, right? So at a time, us 4 lived together, me, you, Denario, and Spoon, and then we kind of split up. You and Spoon and Robert going, and me, Denario, and Dale go somewhere else. During that time, is really when the struggle kind of started happening again for me. You get there and you lose confidence, but now I'm there and I'm actually trying. You know what I mean? I can't tell you guys that I'm trying, but I'm actually trying to play. You know what I mean? But I'm not playing. You know what I mean? So then you start acting out again. So I remember going to Coach Ford was the B coach. I remember him going to him. I think it might have been your last year, J Mac, and I tell him like, "Hey, what's going on? Like, what am I doing like that you don't like? Because I feel like I'm producing now." We had like the what's it called, Spoon, with it, production chart.
The production chart. You was getting to it.
And I'm doing a good job. I'm like, hold on, something's not right. And I remember talking to Denario like, man, I'm gonna go talk to him. He was like, do what you got to do, cuz. So I go up there and I talk to Coach Ford. I'm like, we're in the meeting room. And I point to the production chart. I'm like, hey, Coach, look, you got to tell me why I'm not playing. Like, you got a couple guys in front of me, 3 guys, really, maybe 4 at times. But I'm leading here. What's going on? And his exact words were, you'll never play here until you start tackling. And I was like, but look at the production chart.
The first thing, right? The first thing y'all worked on, remember?
He said, right. He said, you'll never. And it wasn't necessarily that to tackle, it was the way it looked. He didn't want me tackling and I'm falling backwards. He wanted a physical type of tackle. In retrospect, I've never said this publicly. One, I probably should have stayed at safety because they want me to be tough and physical, and I can't use my speed at corner. I'm off a jam. I'm pushing now. I got to make this tough and physical tackle, but I've given you no speed. I'm 185 pounds. At safety, I got a little bit of runway, but go a little bit further. I probably should do my homework and say, you're going to play defense. Go somewhere they're going to play man-to-man football. You just put your head down and cover somebody and move on. Another story. But so I'm trying, and he tells me, if you don't tackle, you're not going to play here. So I'm like, all right, I'm gone. And I walk out the room. And I go back home, and I tell Denario, like, he said if I don't tackle, I ain't going to play. And Cuz was like, what you going to do about it? I said, I'm going to Coach Pinkel. I'm going to go above his head. I kid you not. I walk into Coach Pinkel's office, and I tell him, like, hey, I just had a meeting with Coach Ford. This is like a day or two later. I said, I met with Coach Ford. I showed him production chart, and I'm trying to figure out why I'm not playing. Coach Pinkel looks me in my eyes and says, if you don't start tackling, you're not going to play. I said, y'all, this is crazy. And at the, like, hindsight, they were on one page, one accord. You can't have one coach saying one thing and I get it. Now as a father, I'm like, hey, if mom says it, I say it too. I understand it. But it hurt, you know what I mean? So I go back home and I tell Denario, like, that's what they said. And he was like, it sounds like you got your answer. So here's the transition. We're in spring ball. I think, Mac, you had just left. And I'm not sure who was running the ball. But I was like, all right, we got to show something. And I run up and I hit him. Wow. And Coach Pinkel happened to be like right next to the play. And so was Denario. And Pinkel said, it's about time. And I was like, what? What you mean it's about time? You know what I mean? But he was right. It was about time. And that's when it starts switching. And I had another meeting with Coach Ford, and he says, how you going into your junior year? It's really now or never. If we don't get this out of you now, I'm going to start investing in the guys who are younger and behind you. And that's just the name of the game. So, Mac, when you left, you do start seeing a change because it was like my last chance to show that you can play this game, right? That's a transition. And then seeing you go to the league, J-Mac, hearing all the buzz around Spoon, all the buzz around Denario, I'm like, wait. Wait. I can't, my best friends can't leave and get to the league. I don't have a shot. I have to find a way to at least get that. And then Coach Steck told me one day, he was like, you see what J-Mac got? You see what Spoon's getting? This at your place, Spoon. He's like, you see what Spoon's getting? You can have that. You got to keep being physical. And I was like, all right, we'll see. You know what I mean? But it resonated. And I felt like, all right. So going into games that year, my junior year, believe it or not, as a corner, I was thinking, all right, you cannot miss a tackle. Like, I didn't worry about interceptions. I didn't worry about pass breakups. I was thinking, you cannot miss tackles or they're going to think you're not doing it right and they're going to put you on the sideline. You're going to play, which was a detriment. But still, it got me on the field, right? I think Coach Cool came and was like, at the end of that, my junior year, Spoon, Cool was like, who would have thought you had less missed tackles than Carl and he had more picks than you? Who would have thought that? And I was like, I mean, you done conditioned me. You made me a robot and I got a tackle. So and that's how it went. So that was the transition. I think you also asked my welcome to college moment.
Yeah, your welcome to college moment, both off and on the field.
On the field, like coming from North Shore, I was always top at something. I may not have been the fastest on the team, but I was always right there. You know what I mean? Or I may not have been the highest jumper, but I was always right there. When I get to Mizzou, you got to see guys like Will Moe, Will Frank, Eck, like guys who were just physically bigger than me and doing what I'm doing. I was like, hold on. Oh, this is something ain't right here. And now you can no longer be the fast guy. Like, yeah, you are, but Will Mo is 6'2", 225, and he's running just as fast as you. I'm like,
Yeah.
Will Frank, bigger, and he's jumping high, he's running faster. And that's when I realized, oh, you got to compete here. I don't think I ever really competed in high school. I was just better than people. It wasn't until I got to Mizzou where I learned, oh, you have to do it every play. You're not gonna just get by because the guy across from you is going to be a 4th round draft pick and Will Frank, or it's going to be J-Mac. He's going to be first round. You have to actually try, and then you might lose, you might win, and you try again. So seeing those guys was like my welcome to college moment on the field. Playing wise, my welcome to college moment was in the Cotton Bowl. Felix Jones. I was on kickoff, and Felix Jones breaks up the sideline, and I got decent speed, so I go get him. I'm running, and I catch him. Felix Jones puts a stiff arm in my face, dog. Like, left hand, lifts me off the ground, and like, chill, dog. Lifts me off the ground, and he like just punishes me in the ground. I end up holding on so he comes down, but I remember hearing the crowd go, ooh, you know what I mean? I'm like, dog, hold on. I don't know if this for me, you know what I mean? So that was welcome to college at Mizzou, and then welcome to college in the game. Outside of it, I don't feel like I got the welcome to college moment until we moved off of campus. Okay. And you put together, we had a health class, and the health teacher gave out extra credit points, not like a percentage. He gave like actual points. So if your grade was a 78, you got a 79 just for showing up. Like he gave points for showing up, and I think the total was like 20 points. And I got none of those points because I'd never gone to the class. You know what I mean? And I ended up like passing the class with like a 78 or something like that. But I would have had like a 90 if I just would have gone to class. And then you got to talk to the coaches about you never going to class and whatnot. And that's when I realized, nobody's going to like make you do this. So you have a sophomore slump academically, and they put you back in study hall because you acting a fool. So that was my welcome to college moment outside of it, man. Outside of like doing wild stuff with y'all, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So we talked about, the transition to actually being on the field and what it took to get you on the field. Mm-hmm. Did you know that you were going to be playing some slot corner for Missouri? Did you ever think you'd be playing some slot corner, playing the nickel, the star position, the position today that everybody is one of the most toughest, positions you have to put that's on the field?
I did not, man. And be honest, man, when Will Mo left and I saw how productive he was at that position, I actually asked to play nickel was what we called it. I went to Coach Ford and Steck, and I was like, hey, I want to try that. You know what I mean? Now, granted, we had other guys who probably could have done it, but I asked, and they gave me a shot at it. And I was actually more productive at nickel for both your senior year, Spoon, and my senior year than I was at corner. Because I felt like I was a part of the action. You kind of right in it, you know what I mean? Yeah. And you can, sometimes you're involved in the run. Hopefully not as often as it happens sometimes, but a lot of times you're making plays in the past, you're going on blitzes, and I felt like I was a part of the game. At corner, sometimes you're just kind of sitting. You may not get a pass your way, and then we run cover 2, so do you try the whole shot or not? It was just kind of, it could be monotonous, it could be boring at times, but nickel, man, and I just saw how productive Will Mo was at it, and I was like, he makes the game look fun at that position, and I want to play that position. So did I see that happening? No, but I asked after I saw the success Will Mo had at nickel, Spoon.
Nice. Well, you generate a lot of force, and you one of those type of guys to put your foot in the ground and go get it, and a hell of a shoulder punch, I might add. I'm a big fan.
It became that way, yeah.
I'm a big fan of a DB dropping his near shoulder and standing over the guy you just pummeled, and I seen you do that a few times when you was out there beside me, and that's when I knew. I was like, oh yeah, because I always knew you had the gifts to cover, to outrun, to just you could fly around. But when you was out there being as physical as they required you to be, I think it took your game to another level too, and it took your involvement and kind of how, like you said, just feeling like you're a part of it, man. That's special to being in the box, outside the box, man. So I can definitely see, your personality come out a little bit more when you got a chance to play that position.
Definitely. In the league, it was different. They tried me for a little bit.
Here's what's so crazy, bro. It was never, like I said, I think Spoon just hit a nail on the head. Like I remember I used to sit back and I'm thinking, I'm like, how can somebody be so athletic, like, and not be playing right now, right? So, you know, it was always,
but you're right,
it was always a mental
But that's
thing.
Mac. That's the big part with all the fish too, though, Mac, ain't it?
Yeah. No,
Like,
for real. But then, like that just goes to show you, man. When you get to college, I don't care if you go to the University of Missouri. I don't care if you go to the University of Arizona, USC, Alabama,
Michigan, wherever.
There is guys that are just as good as you, right? What are you going to do to separate yourself? And sometimes it's not even about what you physically can do. Sometimes it's about mentally, like, what's your capacity? Like, what things can you tap into to make you different? How smart can you be? How many different positions can you play? Hey, I can't play right corner. Can I can't play field corner? Can I play boundary corner? Right? I can't play. I'm gonna play nickel. Right? Can I play star? Can I play dime? Like, it's sometimes about like how smart you are and all the things you can do. Because, like you said, like, hey, I may jump a 40, and somebody on there that's gonna jump a 41. I may run 4.35.
That's going to happen.
We may have somebody running a 4.34. Right? So, what are you gonna do to separate yourself from the mental game? Right? So
you gotta find a way.
But we talked about this, right? So kind of, you know, college and you had a good 2, you know, kind of successful years kind of in your career. And, you know, unfortunately, one to get drafted goes undrafted, you go to Jacksonville, right? And I told you one of the coolest things that I ever saw, man, was, you know, by the time you got there, I'm solidified. Like, I'm in the league, I'm rolling. Bro, and I turned on the game on Thursday night, and we talked, but y'all know we get the season, and it's not as much as, you know, but... Man, I'm watching Thursday night game and y'all getting y'all ass kicked. Oh my God. I mean, y'all, Atlanta is putting belt to ass. Belt. And I'm sitting here like, and I look out there and my dog is guarding Julio 1-on-1 in the red zone. And
that's like my second start.
Bro, like,
that's my second start, yeah.
I've never been more proud of another grown man in my life. Like it was crazy, and not because like, you know, he's just, but it's just like if people knew your story, right? If people knew like you said, like dude was getting kicked out of meetings at Coach Ford, and that's a hard meeting to get kicked out of. You know what I mean?
It's really hard.
Like it just like I was so proud, like as a friend, as a teammate. Right, as somebody that I call my brother, man. So, man,
I appreciate it.
People don't understand how hard, right, that is. And I got a little cousin right now that's got the same opportunity, right, going to Buffalo in 2 days. And we talked about your story, and I'm just like, man, like,
let's go, Jay.
Go be that guy, right? Like, right now you got to earn your stay. You got the opportunity, now earn your stay. So, man, hats off to you, man.
But you guys, like, and Mac, at this point in the NFL, this is when I've actually started to like and love the game. You know what I mean? So now it's a fire. Now I go undrafted, and I'm upset when, if that's what happened, you know, something happens in Mizzou that didn't go my way. I'm like, whatever. I don't care. Yeah. But now I go undrafted, I'm like, it's a chip on my shoulder. And my draft story, I'm sitting at the house watching the draft. My parents are like downstairs, and Jacksonville, believe it or not, had like a pick in the 5th round. I'm thinking, they're coming to get me. Like it's no way. They've been talking to me. It's got to be me. Pick comes in, they pick somebody else. Another corner, in fact. Immediately after that pick, my phone rings. It's Jacksonville. I answer the phone. They were like, "Hey, Rutland, Jacksonville Jaguars." I think it might have been. I'm not sure who made the call. Maybe Mel Tucker at the time. And he was like, "We just had a pick in the 5th round, and we're gonna try to find a way to come and to get you." In late 5th or 6th. And I'm excited now. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm looking forward to it, Coach. Hang up the phone, pick the phone, call my agent. And I'm like, hey, look, Jacksonville just called, and they just had a pick in the 5th, and they said they're trying to find a way to get me later in the 5th or in the 6th or 7th round. And he was like, yeah, it's all good, but they're out of picks. And I was like, what? Why would they say that to me? You know what I mean? And I rewind. We had a guy come to us and give us a speech. He was like, hey, look, all you undrafted guys, if they call your phone on draft day and they're not picking you, they're not going to pick you. And it all kind of came rushing back then. So I was like, they just want me to sign with them when, what's it called?
When it's
free agency opens up, right?
Yep.
So make that, they do that call, and then as the story goes, I go undrafted, get to Jacksonville, dog, and I don't cut my hair. I'm like, I say, I'm not cutting my hair until I make this team. So much so that when I finally make the team, I come back with a haircut and I'm wearing earrings and whatnot. And one of the strength coaches was like,
You
"That's
want
not who
money?
you are." The strength
Can't
coach
hide
was like,
money.
he said, "You wear earrings?" He said, "I just never take me for an earring guy." And y'all know me. I was always an earring guy.
Always
You
had
know
the
what I mean?
earrings in. Yeah.
So, but I felt like
What's
I had
an
to.
earring guy though? What was he
I don't
saying?
know. I don't know.
What,
But
you see these guys now?
right. But you
Man.
flip side, you got somebody coming in who is not hair is wild. I'm like, I'm not doing anything appearance wise until I make this team. So to him, he's like, there's no way this rugged dude is not cleaned up with a fade and earrings. And he brought the chin strap back. You know, he's brought the chin strap back in the day. But like you're saying, Mac, you're talking to Jay, it does take that as an undrafted guy. I had other places I could have gone that were offering more money. So for the people who go undrafted, here's the story. You get to you pick. A lot of teams will call and they'll make offers. Hey, we're gonna give you a $5,000 signing bonus, or hey, we'll give you 10,000, or hey, we'll give you 15. Hey, we'll give you 20. You get those offers, and you have to decide. And Jacksonville is offering me I think it was $10,000 signing bonus, but they said if we cut you, we'll give you 20. I was like, that's kind of cool, you know what I mean? Denver was my second choice, and they were offering me $15,000. So I was actually leaning towards Denver because I get my money right now. And then Dale Howard called me, and he was like, "Hey, look, I can't tell you why, I can't tell you who told me, but you got to go to Jacksonville." And this is the lockout year, so I've already spent 2 months at J Mac's house. Side story, I gotta give a shout out to J Mac, man. I really, you my dog. I appreciate you, man. I go undrafted, and the next day I'm in church, and I'm hot, I'm sick. Getting in church, I ain't into it. Probably even cried a little bit or something. Leave church, and oddly enough, J Mac calls. He was like, "Hey, look, bro, I know you wanted to get drafted. I know what it meant to you. If you're looking for a getaway, let me know." And at first, I was like, he ain't mean that. You know what I mean? So I hang up the phone, and I called him back, and I was like, "Yo, all right, what's good?" He was like, "Don't worry about it. I got your just come on out here." Come out to J Mac. Spoon, you already there. Everybody's training because it's like out here. And Mac, not when you put me up in your home. Yeah, epic time. Epic. But you put me in your home,
Do you
man.
remember sitting around saying man, we ain't gonna never get this time again? Like we were knowledgeable of the moment that we were in too, though. That was
a
different,
great time. It was a great time. And I didn't want to seem like a leech, man. So I used to try to offer the gas. Not like he needed it, but you know what I mean? I tried something. But that it meant a lot to me. You know what I mean? I appreciate you for even just open up your home. You pay for food, dog. I mean, now granted, you don't really eat a lot of breakfast, and that hurt me.
Hungry.
You know what I mean?
Hungry.
I used to get hungry, and Mac not trying to eat. Mac does not eat. I don't know if you know about it. Morning time, first meal might be 4 o'clock.
You know what's crazy is? Hey, guess what? The one meal I have to have is breakfast. My day don't start until I eat breakfast food. So even if I don't eat about noon, even if I eat about noon, it's got to be eggs or some type of bread. I can't hop right into chicken. No, breakfast.
Yeah. No, so, but that's my draft story, and making that team was everything. You know what I mean? They announced it at my church. I mean, when I got the call, and it was the GM at the time telling me I made that team, I dropped to my knees praying "Oh, thank you, Lord, I made it, thank you." You know what I mean? Because I just wanted to make the team, man, and it was a new dream that had come true for me. So to all the undrafted guys, man, just put your head down. Don't shave. Don't get haircuts. Don't shave your face. Just put your helmet on and go play ball, man. Go play ball.
Hey, man, a little quick story about the lockout, man. So Kevin talked about it, man. Listen, during the lockout year, I ended up having a little bit of a health scare, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there was a chance I went through a whole bunch of different things, man, and they thought I might have had lymphoma, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it just I believe that everything happens for a reason, right? So I remember when I came out and I told y'all, right? I was but man, I don't know if I would once again you go back to getting through the ACL back at school, but then I go through this and I got all my guys with me.
Everybody was
I don't know if I would have got through that without y'all, right? It was Cuz, you, Spoon, Soup, right? You know
Super's
what I
there,
mean?
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
man, I just feel like everything happens for a reason, man. So it ain't
Definitely.
like we've literally gone through everything together. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah, yeah.
crazy, man. It's
Brothers.
crazy.
Definitely
So
brothers. Definitely brothers, man.
definitely.
Which is why I love doing
So,
this show. Yeah.
Kevin, I mean, we true sons, right?
There we go.
Um, man, how did you make that football team in Jacksonville during the lockout, man, as an undrafted free agent? Now I know they was probably paying cornerbacks. They was probably paying Rasheem Mathis, right? Like they
Derek Cox, Rasheem Matt. They had guys there already.
how did you make that team, bro? What would you tell a young guy right now going into that situation?
Definitely special teams. Like you treat special teams, you treat special teams and one-on-ones like it's a Super Bowl. Because those are the reps you are for sure going to get. You may not get a chance to get on second team, third team defense. That may not happen. You know what I mean? So, but special teams, you're going to be all over them and every last one of them. So you have to go as hard as you possibly can. So our first game was against the Patriots, I believe. And opening kickoff, I made the first tackle. Maybe on like the 15 or something like that. Recover the fumble on punt. I'm trying my best to be involved in the game. You know what I mean? You get to play corner the last 8 minutes of the game. You know what I mean? So you don't get to show a lot of your ability at the position you play, but the time where you can show up is in special teams. So one during camp, I'm chin strapped up. I'm ready to go because I know if I can make a play, they might give me a shot to play corner. And if I can get on defense in team, then maybe I can show that I can actually play a little bit. And I'd kind of become a guy that I'm gonna focus on man to man. So if you let me go press him and you remove everything else, I don't want to see left and right. Just let me guard him. I can make that my craft. And I remember scouts, the Jazz come and tell me, like, you like man to man, don't you? Because in school we didn't do it. You know what I mean? We play zone all day, and I'm like, yeah, I actually do. And I'm finding a way to be successful. So how you make that team is by getting on every special team. The answer is never no. Hey, Rut, can you? Yes. I've never look. I was 6 foot, like 190 pounds, and I'm on the front line on kick return. And they're telling you got to go block defensive ends, tight ends, and people like that. Like you're outmatched. The answer is never no. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Now I'm front line on kickoff return. I'm on kickoff. I'm 1-2 on kickoff. I'm on punt return. I'm on punt. If they try to get somebody to block a field goal, I'm trying my best just to show them I'm here to play. You know what I mean? And that's how you make that team going. You just never say no to anything. You just keep going. You keep going. Put your head down and work, man.
Nah,
Good stuff.
That's definitely the key, man. I'm trying to give that message to Jay right now. I said, go back to freshman year trying to play varsity mentality high school, right? That's the mentality, right? Like it's hey, whatever I can go do, I want to go do. You need me to run down. You need me to be the punter, right? Like whatever you need me to do, right? I got it, coach, right? So I think that's definitely the key. You said it, a couple of weeks ago on the show, man. Don't run from the special teams, right?
No. You run to them. You go, and as an undrafted guy, you do that your whole career, actually. You just keep running the special teams because you got to show a way that you got to be valuable. You go to a team. I went to the Chiefs. You know what I mean? My third, fourth year in the league, and the DB room is sold up. Let's be honest. You know what I mean? Like it's not going to be much movement there. How do I make this team? How do I try to make this team? Special teams. Maybe I do special teams better than your sixth corner. And maybe you decide to take him off and keep me. That was always my thought process. I got to run these special teams and show my worth, show my value. So that's the undrafted story. Yeah.
With good football teams, a lot of times it's going to be only one spot open that they look
at.
Yeah.
Not finna, you're not about to start undrafted. It's not happening.
You look at all those guys right now in Philly, right? Like they got 5 of the receivers is already spoken for. Like you might take 6. I've been on teams where we only took 5. Right? You might take 6. So you got to understand what it is, man. So
you got to count. You got to be able to count.
You got to count.
If you can count, you can play. And,
you got to be able to count.
And one thing that we really, we kind of danced around and we talked about it so much within your career, Kevin, is the ability to run.
Yeah.
It kind of goes back. I know you're a track guy, right?
Yeah. We did all those.
how
All the
how
relays.
big is that as a part of your game to keep you around too? You know, I think guys want to get in the weight room, get all bulky, and just want the game. The game is
It's not the
running and
game.
being able to run.
You got to be able to run. And I think, like when all else fails, soon, that is what you hang your hat on. For me, like when confidence isn't there at your position, well, I can run. So that means if I'm playing a man-to-man at a corner, you're not running by me. I can't let that happen because that's my identity now. That's the only place where I can be confident. And I took it all the way to the league. I remember like the exit interviews my rookie year. The GM was saying, "Man, I didn't even know you could run like that," and I was really disrespected. What you mean? I could run like that? Dog? Like that's all I've known. So, like you're saying, sport, I hung my hat on that, and I felt like that's not going to be a weak part of this game. It will not be. You won't say I didn't run. Like so, if it's yeah, go ahead.
Hey, listen,
One more thing. One thing I
Frank.
just saw, Mac. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. There's one thing I just saw that Kevin actually went through. I want to say, I just saw that I think the Padres just changed ownership, right?
Yeah, I did go through that.
I think the Padres just changed ownership right now in baseball, Mac. Like we got a new ownership group, and I know Kevin was a part of Jacksonville. Was it the same year that the owner, what's his name, Khan?
Shah Khan, yeah. So this is all my rookie year. My rookie year, we lose Jack Del Rio's our head coach like week 6 or 7. And then like week 10, Shah Khan comes in the building and they're announcing he's buying a team. Crazy transition. I'm like, what? And he comes in the room and he's asking guys to stand up and tell him why we're not a good team. He don't even know our names. He pointing, you. What do you think? Why aren't we good? Why aren't we winning games? And we sitting here with an interim head coach. I'm thinking, ask him. You know what I mean? But he's pointing at guys, players, and we're like, I don't know. We're trying to think, and that's when I realized the business side of the game too. Like he told us out of his mouth, buying a football team was on my bucket list, and I was like, hold on, man. Now you kind of disrespecting this game. Like it's not monopoly.
Hey,
some people
that's that B talk. That's that B talk.
Yeah, man. And he told us his story how he got his money, and after he got all his money, he was like, I want to buy a sports team, and the Jags happen to be for sale. So I purchased the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he left by saying, all right, I got to go and write some of y'all's checks. And I was like, golly, like slow down, man. What you doing? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, my boy stunting in there.
Just came in stunting hard with a crazy mustache. Like, wow. So, yeah, I had a lot of transitions. But I want to give a shout out to Jack Del Rio, too. After I make that team, I'm doing special teams in some games. I'm not making plays. And I think most guys probably would have gotten cut after this. But he comes to me one day in the hallway and pulls me to the side. And he's like, hey, look, during training camp, you're a lot more hungry than you are now. I didn't really think about it that way. I'm playing football. And he was like, I need you to go back to whatever you were doing. Like, tap into that. Whatever you had in training camp.
No more earrings, no more haircuts, noodles.
After that, right, you know what I mean? And after that, I go back to just trying my best to make plays on special teams because it was almost like I got a little comfortable. I didn't even think that way, but I think he noticed that. And I think I really respect him for that because, I mean, he was fired like the next week. But I think a lot of people in my shoes, undrafted free agent, and you're not making plays on special teams, why are you here? You know what I mean? And he man to man, not in the meeting room, just like pulled me aside one day walking down the hall and was like, hey, go back to being as hungry as you were during camp and show why you're here. And I went back and started making plays on special teams. Once again, undrafted guys, you make the team every day you up there. You're not just making the team during camp. You're making that team every day you're there.
Bro, it's so hard because we've all been places where that's a revolving door, right? You might see a guy, on Monday, right? He may be there through Thursday. Then they may cut him, bring somebody in Friday. He may be there 2 weeks, then he gone. Then somebody come in on Sunday, but then he gone on Tuesday. Like, so you gotta earn your keep literally every day, man. Every day you gotta earn your keep. So Kevin, we kind of talked about your NFL career, man. Like you said, you went on to Kansas City, had an opportunity there. When it was over, right? Because I think for all of us sitting here, it was probably over before we wanted it to be over.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt, yeah.
Injury for me, couldn't really shake back. Injury for Spoon, did kind of shake back, did kind of, you know what I mean? So
Another injury.
yeah,
Another
you know what I
injury,
mean?
Yeah.
Kevin, for you, give me your feeling of when you were like, okay, like I need to start coming to terms with, hey, this is done, and I need to shift my focus on to something else.
So what it was for me, man, I leave Kansas City after camp, after preseason. I get cut there, and now you're just kind of in no man's land, right? I actually went through an agent change because I wanted to make sure that it wasn't my agent, that it was me they didn't want. You know what I mean? Maybe he wasn't working, so you know what? All right, agent, I fire you, hire somebody else. And I started getting workouts. I went and worked out with Detroit. Then I get married, and like 3 days after the wedding, Atlanta calls, and I go work out in Atlanta. And I thought I really made that team, but you go to get these workouts, and you don't make the team. So now I was like, all right, there's an itch here, and I don't know how I'm going to move forward unless I feel like I've kind of blown out my own candle, because it was sticking. You know, I felt like I could still play when I was in Kansas City. They didn't want me, but I felt like I could still play there. So essentially, the NFL has told me, all right, we're done with you. And I didn't like that feeling. And I knew if I didn't find a way to take it back, it was going to like kind of haunt me for forever. So I go to Canada and I play with in Toronto, right? And I get there like mid-season. So I never actually played, but I'm on the team and they're talking about, all right, next year we want you to compete as one of our corners. And they wanted me to come back. And I said, oh, you know what? Here's my opportunity to like be done with the game before the game is done with me. So Toronto's calling me to come back, and I'm like, no, I'm good, I'm done. Because that was me just kind of taking it back, you know what I mean? And I just got married, so I'm like, all right, I'll just start life after football. And that's what that transition was like. Now, looking back, it was a rough 2 years. You know what I mean? My wife's in grad school. I'm not doing anything. I got some money, so I'm not like hurting or anything, but I don't know where to go next. So you got a couple 2 years until we got pregnant with our oldest daughter. And I'm like, oh, all right, something got to shake now. And that was both internal and external. My wife was like, hey, something got to shake. So I start coaching then, and just really just kind of putting one foot in front of another. Not really sure what you're going to like or dislike, but got to say yes. And I just kind of kept trying things. I kind of took that same mentality as an undrafted free agent. I just said yes to a lot of things. Do this. All right, I'll try it. Go to this meeting. Okay, I'll try it. Go to school. Sure, I'll try that. And I just did a lot of things. I'm still doing a lot of things just to kind of feel what I don't know, what I don't know. Because you, as football players, man, you miss a big part of what everyone else goes through when you leave college. Like, they go to college, they do internships while they're in school, and then they do extern, whatever they do. But for us, we don't do it. We play football. So you kind of get passed up. So I went through that phase. I think most college graduates, like, I'm a senior, I graduate, I go to work. I went to that phase of just trying to figure things out. And that's how you end up. My wife and I are now fortunate enough to own a Chick-fil-A, man. We also own a company that does fundraising for high school athletics. We end up here because my support system, my wife, was like encouraging, was always like, you can do anything. You know what I mean? If you want to go back and go to med school, you can do that too. No one ever told me, nah, that's not for you. Everyone just said, hey, try this, try that. And I appreciate my support system, from parents down to my wife being just like the supporting cast was very instrumental in me finding my next act, so to say.
Nice.
Yes, indeed, brothers. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, man. So I feel like we definitely, touched on all the bases, man. We peel back layers to the onion, man, and it's inspirational to hear, just the mindset of leaving the game and that second act, because we all go through that, and it's great to share that, so other guys who are in our shoes, the shoes that we were in then, the shoes that we're in now after the game, guys that are stepping into that, man. If we can be, a vessel to encourage you, to help you to keep pushing on, man. We just say, look around you, man. Start reaching out to brothers that you met. Start reaching out to brothers that you follow on Instagram that you see doing positive things and stuff. Not just having to be like a courtesy follow, because we
never
both
be too cool. Never be too cool, man.
Go out, man. Go get them golf clubs, man. Get them golf clubs. I've had a lot of brothers out there on the greens that
big, man.
Yeah, man.
That is big, man.
you might just hear something that day that just gives you life, man, and continues to push you in a direction, that's a positive direction, man. And I'm thankful to have brothers like you guys in my life that
Same.
I can always call and lean on and feel inspired about about life and certain things that I'm going through. I can actually relate, and you guys can relate to me, so forth and so on, man. So Kevin, man, I just
Definitely.
want to say first and foremost, man, thank you for
Appreciate it.
opening up and talking about a lot of different things that a lot of people don't talk about, man. And I say this, me and Mac and all the truths, man. We love you, big dog. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I love y'all.
we
I
appreciate you.
love y'all, man.
Appreciate
Listen,
you, man. It's awesome to be your friend, bro.
Appreciate it,
Most
man. Love
definitely.
y'all. Yeah.
you know the role that football still kind of plays in my life. Last question
Yeah.
for me. You know the role football still kind of plays in Spoon's life, right? Spoon, little man is in the game, right?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
he's all wrapped up in it, man. I can't wait. Hopefully, I'm not gonna force
Little
him, but
Knox.
hopefully my
Little
little
Knox coming.
man wants to come do it as well.
Yeah,
With us being
yeah.
high school coaches, man, it's still very relevant in our lives, right? My question to you is, do you miss it, and what role does it play in your life right now? Like, do you when you watch it, like, does it still give you that feeling, like, or are you literally just is it literally just entertainment for you now?
So I miss aspects of it. To watch it, it is entertainment now. But I miss aspects that no one else sees, like the locker room. I miss the locker room. And anytime, like when I'm around high school kids now and around their coaches and I'm in locker rooms, I kind of get a taste of it. Like, oh, it's a feeling that you can only get in that setting. So I miss the plane rides. I miss having to book your own doctor's appointment sucks. Like, I miss that. You know what I mean? Like those are the things I miss about the game. That camaraderie, like teammates just joking and whatnot. Actually playing that game, no. When I first left, yes. As a matter of fact, I came to one of your games, J Mac, here in Houston, and I just kind of left. Man, I guess it was a year before that I left the Chiefs, and I'm on the sideline game, and players coming like, "Oh, run!" And I'm like, "Nah, this ain't. I gotta go." It was I was too close to it. I felt like I should have still been out there. You know what I mean?
Bro, I remember you saying you had to lead us out. You literally told me you had to lead us
I
out.
gotta go.
I was trash too that game. Oh my god, I was so trash.
No, you are, bro. It wasn't one of your best games, but I had to leave. So, do I miss the game? Playing, no, but I do miss the things that came with that game, particularly like the camaraderie, the locker room, teammates, things like that.
Would you ever consider coaching?
I would. Believe it, I would. I had a coach actually here in Houston ask me the other day, and I'm actively giving it serious thought, just because I might have more to offer than a coach who just shows up. You know what I mean? My experience alone, I feel like I have more to offer to a high school player than just anybody off the street. So I'm not completely closed to the idea. I had a sour taste because I did try to coach, but I was coaching middle school and they just weren't very good and they don't listen. It was, I'm like, that was not for me. But at the high school level, I know it's different. You all are coaching competitive high school football and it was just different. So I'm not opposed. I would do it because there are some things I feel like I can teach a young man and really help his game.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's good. And not only his game, but just the game of life too. I feel like
Right.
you got a lot that you could pass on, man. Like I said, man, we're thankful to have you here.
Appreciate it.
Speak your story, bro, and let the people know, exactly, who you are and where you come from. And I think it's I think wonders of it that you took the time to do this, man, and just step back a little bit. Let us ask you a little bit more questions than you because you like to ask us. So you know what I'm saying?
Question now, who is next week?
Frank,
Who
for
we
sure.
rocking with?
Frank D.
Spoon, you I see next week.
Frank.
I'm ready, man.
wait.
I'm gonna be excited. I'm gonna be excited to, open up a little bit, man. I want to talk a little bit more about my coaching journey too. So
Love it.
I'm gonna speak. When we get to that, I know it'll take a while to get up there, but when we get to
We'll
it,
get there.
I really want to ask y'all some questions, man, and put something on the minds of the truths, man. So
listen,
shout out to all the truths that have tuned in. Go ahead, Mac.
I would love episode, and maybe we'll talk to some people about it, but get one or two high school coaches on here, man, because you guys have heard from me, you've heard from Spoon, but like
That'd be
get
great.
another high school coach on here and see how things are different for them or how they,
Yeah,
things that
yeah.
they do. So yeah.
Maybe like, ooh, yeah, and then maybe we bounce back with. I know we got some buddies that's scouting at the
Oh
high
yeah.
level now
Oh
too,
yeah.
with the Eagles and
Mm-hmm.
with the
Oh yeah.
Jags. Both of you guys forming teams. I think that would be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
To tap in, man. But truths. But below in the comments, man, we want you guys to engage. We want you guys to let us know what you guys want to see. But we're gonna tell you about our story now. We're gonna get this.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Spoon is up
Thing.
next.
And so shout out to TPL. This is True Sons podcast, man, powered by TPL.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you to all the Trues that show up each and every week, man. We're gonna keep it going. And we're super grateful, man. We're gonna catch you guys next time, man. It was a pleasure to be here tonight with you fellas.
Same, man. Have a good night.